You wanted to know, so I'm here to tell you. Good morning everyone, Liliana from Vanilla Canela here. Welcome back to my channel, to another video and to Vlogtober. So last week I asked you if you had any questions for me. You could ask me anything, and that you did. So I've got all your questions here. Some of them I have answered before in my previous Q&A, but it doesn't really matter. I'm still going to tell you here and now. So let's get started. I'm just reading the comments and asking as I go. Did you just see the tail? Guess who's here? So, first question is from Jane Barrow. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm sure I'm going to butcher lots of names. How did you learn to speak English so well? I've always loved the English language. I started learning when I was, I think, 7 or 8, if not slightly younger. And I've loved listening to music. I would say that a lot of my language skills come from wanting to learn Bon Jovi and Bryan Adams lyrics, because growing up I used to love their music. Still do, still a big fan. So I've always wanted to learn and understand what they were saying. And I guess I just always really liked English, and I had English throughout my school years all the way till the end. So yeah, I don't know, it's one of those things. It just always seemed really natural for me to speak English. Farhat Chowdhury says, hope you're feeling better, honey. I would love to know more about your family, actually. Much love. My immediate family, I have one brother, mum and dad, and then my brother has 2 children, Gabriel and Rafael. My nephews, it's all boys on both sides of my family and Paul's family. And we have Alex, and Paul's brother has 2 boys as well. But on my side of the family, I then have a huge extended family. My mum has other 7 brothers and sisters who were all married, who all have children, and some of those have already had children. So it's a big extended family. If you ever watched my big fat Greek wedding, that's my family. Always in each other's business, always there to help, always part of our life. It's one of the things I miss about being in the UK, is that they're not around as much. But yeah, I have a really big family. On my dad's side, my dad had a brother and a sister. Unfortunately, the brother passed away before I moved to England, the year before I moved to England. And they had children as well. So we're not as close to my dad's side of the family. I don't have any grandparents left. My grandmother, my dad's mum, was actually the last one to pass away only a few years ago. But yeah, on my mum's side, we're all very close. Yeah, and I would probably be even closer if I lived there near them, you know. So yeah, hope that answers your question. Forever Friend says, I'm from Northern Ireland. You talk of it fondly. Do you miss living here? If so, what do you miss? I talk fondly about Northern Ireland. Before anything else, my son was born in Northern Ireland. Alex was born there, and after 9 years of trying to have a child, Northern Ireland did it for us. I can't explain it. Less than a year, God, way less than a year of being there, we fell pregnant with Alex. Well, I fell pregnant with Alex, and it was really strange, if you wish, because lots of people where Paul used to work also, their wives also fell pregnant that year. So we were all very close because we were all having babies at the same time. So I'd say it's in the water. So it was a great place for us. You know, I always think it brought us Alex. So I am grateful for that. I enjoyed living there. I have mixed emotions, right? Because I had a little bit of postnatal depression and I felt very alone because I was so far away from my friends and my family, which were either in England or Portugal. And it rained a lot. Oh my goodness. I thought England was raining. You have not seen rain like Northern Ireland. But I do have really fond memories. I love how friendly. I have never in my life met friendlier people than the people of Northern Ireland. So friendly, and yeah, really they have such a big family community spirit going. So I do miss it. I definitely do miss it. And we never know, maybe one day we'll go back. Next question comes from Dragonfly Neb. Hope you feel better. Where is your husband from and how did you meet? So my husband was actually born in Liverpool but moved to Marlborough in Wiltshire when he was 2. So really he considers himself to be from Marlborough because that's where he was born and raised. And we met in Swindon, which is also in Wiltshire, through work. I started working for a company once I moved here, and 3 weeks later Paul started at that same company, and we met then. We did not get together for about 5 years after that. We were just friends, but actually I met him 3 weeks after arriving in the UK. My question would be, oh, this is from Emma Smith. My question would be, what made you decide to start a YouTube video blog? I have always loved home decor and making my married quarter feel more like a home instead of just a magnolia box, and I've always loved sharing that and always got compliments on how it looked. So I decided to actually start a website to share blog posts, but it turns out, 1, I'm not very good at photography, 2, I'm not very good at writing interesting stuff. So I came across, I think it was Alexandra's TV videos where she organizes her home, and I was just blown away. And by discovering her, I started discovering other YouTubers. I had no idea there was such a thing as I thought YouTubers is where you went to find out how to do bits, not like vloggers or family vloggers like that. So I decided this is what I want to do. My intentions was always to share how I make my family, my married quarter into a home, and I thought I would reach the military community and help, you know, without being too cocky about it, help other wives. But it became clear that I could do more than that, and that actually the military community was a small percentage of that. So yeah, I never thought I would be this comfortable on camera, I'll tell you that. So the next question is from Christine Roberts. She asks, does your family in Portugal get to visit you in the UK? Yes and no. So yes, my family has been over here, my parents, my brother, my nephews, but my parents haven't been here for quite a few years now. My dad is disabled, and also they have a dog which they won't leave, and so they don't get to visit that often. Rhonda, if you do stuff gets done, asks, how did you meet your husband, and is it challenging living in a country that you weren't born in? So the first part of that question has been answered. We met at work, and is it challenging living in a country that you weren't born in? No. I just fitted in, you know, like everything here fitted me as well. You know, I don't put on anything that's not real. I feel so comfortable in this country. No one's ever made me feel unwelcome. I feel like I belong, though there is a certain part of me that knows I am not British, so I will never 100% fit in. The same way if I went back to Portugal to live in Portugal, I would not 100% fit in there either, because I have lived somewhere else and I've experienced something else. So I find myself in that no man's land of, I'm not British, I'm Portuguese, but I don't live in Portugal. But yeah, living in England, it's come really natural. I felt really at home really quickly, which is why I fell in love with this country. Yeah, this is a country where you get to express and be who you are freely. The only thing why I put, is it challenging challenging living in a country that you weren't born in? Now recently, as you all must know, Brexit is coming. Okay, so that could potentially bring consequences for me. It already has brought some consequences to the fact that I'm here and I'm not British, even though I've been living in this country for 21 years. I have been refused EU settled status, which means I have to work extra hard to be able to stay here, even though I've been married to a British citizen for 15 years and I have a son with him who's 6 years old. But I am sure it will be resolved. I don't want to get into that. Let's not talk about Brexit, right? Let's leave it there. Okay, so Rosemary Somerville asks, how long have you lived in the UK as you have no Portuguese accent? So I've just answered that. I have been here 21 years. So next year will be 22, obviously. And I left Portugal when I was 22. So it's a long time. It has gone like nothing. Christy Risner asks, my question is, how did you learn to cook? What can I say? I started cooking when I was 11. It wasn't a case of I wanted to learn. It was just a case of that's what you did at that time in Portugal. My mum, I think the first thing I learned to cook was rice. And now I am a rubbish rice cooker, you know, compared to my mum. But yeah, I just had to help out. It was a complete different sort of life, and you would, I don't know, I think now you would never put a 11-year-old making food, but yeah, my mum got me started really quick, and I do really love cooking. So I started when I was 11. I learned everything I know from my mum. Yeah. So Wendy Savage says, why do you always wear your hair up? Not always, Wendy. Very, very easy. I get hot really quick. And the other thing is, especially if I'm in the kitchen, 99.9999% of the times I'll have my hair up. The idea there could be some hair falling on food, I don't like that. But mainly, when I'm not in the kitchen, it would be because I'm hot, because I'm cleaning or something like that, and I just want it out of my face. Next question is from Beth Wittenberger. I think I've said that right. She asks, have you ever been to America? No, I haven't. I have traveled through Europe, but not actually been to America. I would love to visit, and I think I probably will one day, but I've not. So Julie Davis asks, my question is, where all have you travelled and which place would you like to visit again? So like I've just said, I mainly travelled through Europe. I've been to Italy, Greece, France, Germany, Austria, Spain. What else? That's probably about it. Don't know, maybe I'm forgetting something. We mainly travelled a lot before we had Alex. We used to go on like city breaks and things like that. And I think the place that I would love to go back is Austria. I actually went there with a friend, not Paul, my friend Jill. We went to the Christmas sort of, for a Christmas weekend. It wasn't at Christmas, it's Christmas markets. And if you know anything about that, it was magnificent. They have so many Christmas decorations. The town is completely, or should I say the city, decked out for Christmas. It's just a magical time, and if you've never been, I totally recommend that. Next question is from Doreen Dryden. She asks, are you going to get another playmate for Ethel? No. Not. Yes, Alex?
Can I run around the kitchen? Because I have these like, I thought that are sticky.
Yes, but just be careful. So going back to the question, are you going to get another playmate for Ethel? No. Ethel is right here. Look at that. Aren't you the cutest? I don't think she would cope very well with another playmate. Stan was here before Ethel came, and Ethel does not like change. She does not take to change very well, and she's quite insecure, I think. I mean, to give you an idea, when we got Alex from the hospital, that night that we brought our brand new baby home for the first time, she peed on our bed, and that is something she does if she's ill or really unhappy. So I don't think she could take another pet, and I don't think I want one yet. I still miss Stan way too much. Cat, so Kate says, what is your favourite film? Mine is Arsenic and Old Lace, love all movies and adore Cary Grant. Well, Kate, we couldn't disagree more. I really don't like old films, especially black and white films. Oh, just can't. I'm sorry if... but my favourite film, I would probably have to say something like Dirty Dancing or Pretty Woman. Those are films that I really, really enjoy. I could come up with something strange. I do enjoy actually 80s movies. Like, I grew up watching the Brat Pack, so Santo Elmo's Fire, all that kind of stuff. So they are already considered old movies, I guess. But yeah, I don't really like stuff like the Cary Grant stuff. I don't know. So the next question is from Moto Gypsy. Let me know your first name in the comments. I like knowing my subscribers' names. She asks, how often on average do you find you have to move with Paul's job? That's the first question. So it's on average every 3 years. I've been places 4 years, I've been places 3, 2, but it averages out every 3 years. Do you have siblings? I have one brother, Alded, that's his name. Where in the world would you love to travel that you have never been to? I would love to travel to America. I've always said that. Now, I know you're from Australia, and Australia looks amazing, but I think it would be too hot for me. And let's talk about the spiders and the snakes. I don't think I could handle it. Though it looks like it's an amazing country. So yeah, I would like to visit America. Also Costa Rica. There's so many places I would like to go. I would love to go to Bora Bora, somewhere like that. Even though that's hot. It's by the beach. It's different, right? I don't know. So yeah, I would love to... There's different countries in the world that I would love to visit. Though I am definitely a homebody. Homebody. So I love being at home, and wherever I go, I can't wait to get back home. So the next question is from Sylvia K. My question, what do you use those dips with? Oh, I asked the questions in a Tesco's shopping haul. I said, ask me anything. And in that haul, I had onion and chives, I think, dip. And so she's asking, what do I use with those dips? Basically tortilla chips. That's my favorite thing. You can use them with vegetables, obviously, and I also like putting a dollop of that onto chili con carne. That's really nice. So next question is from Suzanne Burnt. I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm saying that right. She asks, does your family in Portugal get to visit you, or will you visit your family there soon? So I've sort of answered part of that question, and at the moment I don't have any plans to go back to Portugal, maybe next year. So next question is from Sandra Lopes. She asks, I would like to ask you if I'm allowed... Hello.
I'm hungry.
You're hungry? Why don't you go in the cupboard and find something to eat? Find a little snack. Start making that face.
I want.
Okay. So, sorry, Sandra asks, I would like to ask you if I'm allowed to, why did you decide to go to England so young? Was it a dream? Was it a job opportunity? So, both, really. I have always wanted to visit the UK, and through work in Portugal, we had a lot of clients in the UK. I came to visit, and one of my contacts, a girl named Hannah, actually said to me, well, you could always move, it'd be super easy for you to find a job, because of the job I had in Portugal, which was nothing interested. It was working for a company that worked for Honda, you know, the car manufacturer. So Honda was in Swindon, and she said to me, you would find a job really easy. I came over to visit for a holiday in August, went to some job agencies, showed them my CV, and they said, yeah, we could get you a job straight away. I moved in September, got a job, boom. So, and I really wanted, I'll tell you what else I wanted. I wanted the freedom of being by myself, on my own, and doing my own thing. So yeah, definitely it was a dream, and it was a job opportunity. So I'm very grateful to Hannah, because I lived with her for a year after moving here, and she really helped me feel settled and all of that. To be Jiminy asks, how did you meet your husband? So we met, like I said, through work. When we met, Paul had a girlfriend, and so we were just friends. And then a few years later, we both left that job and sort of lost touch, and he saw one of my friends and asked about me. So she gave him my number, we got in touch, we met up just the day before he left for Iraq. By then he'd joined the Air Force, so that was 2003, and we met up, and we both thought there was a spark, so we wrote to each other while he was away, and then when he got back we got together, and we were married a year later. Pamela Carrick asks, do you have any siblings? One brother. And that's it. Wow, I have been talking for a long time. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and that you are enjoying Vlogtober, even though it's been a bit up and down. I'll see you tomorrow for another one. Bye for now. Say bye, Eths.